In India, gold is not just an investment, I feel. It's an emotion.
Don't rush to buy gold. You can start doing SIP even in gold.
Why do you think this generation is the one that struggles the most with the money aspect?
वो जो perseverance, long term सोचना, वो सब concepts हैं नहीं. That people in the 20s are so influenced by the social media. So people want to get quick rich things, and it's leading to a lot of impatience.
There is this trend about FIRE, the dream of early retirement. Do you think it's actually possible for the people with regular incomes? What exactly SIP and SIF are? How to manage our money? Like, what would be the best options for me just with 5 to 10K, not more? Hello, I am Muskan Kapoor from StartupTalky, and today I'm delighted to have with us Miss Nehal Mota, co-founder and CEO of Finnovate. With a strong belief that financial fitness starts with clarity, planning, and consistent action, she co founded Finnovate to help others put that into practice as well. So, in this conversation, we'll be talking about her journey, simplify the common investing terms like SIPs and ETFs, and explore how others can also explore better money habits without any fear or jargon. So, let's get started. Hi, Nehal. It's great to have you today. How are you doing?
Thanks, Muskan. All well, and really good to come on this chat with you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me your time for this. So, Nehal, you're now running a company in the financial services space, okay, which is all about financial fitness and financial freedom. So, before we begin our conversation for today, all about the money and investing part, I would really like to go back to a little bit of your early years. What was your relationship with money like while you were growing up at home? Were you the kind of person who used to save up money, or you were the kind of person who would spend it all the moment you see something you love?
Right. So,
What were you like?
I was a person who would actually spend money. So people around me just said that you have a very free hand and you spend a lot. So that was the kind while I was growing up. But having said that, we came from a middle class family, and resources were
Hmm.
always limited. Okay, so there was scarcity in the beginning. And at that time, only in the school, I decided that financial independence is important. And I can't be dependent on anyone for money. And when I'm financially independent, then basically I'm not answerable to anyone on how I spend, invest
Anyone?
the money. And so this whole thought of really becoming financially independent very early on in life just started in school because there were scarce resources. And I
Hmm.
always wanted more things or better things, and the only option for that was to just get financially independent.
So that's good. So basically, you were a spender, and when you realized you want to spend even more, so decided कि नहीं, now we have to work towards the financial independence. So while you were working before building your company, what was your idea that just made you कि okay, now it's done कि और corporate नहीं करना है. Now I have to start something on my own, and especially in the financial services space, because mostly women are not seen very much into the financial spaces. तो what gave you the idea कि I want to start this company और इसी sector में
So,
करना है?
Muskan, I'll just go a little back while I was doing my
Hmm.
post graduation. Um,
Hmm.
event happened in 2001, which was the earthquake which
Okay.
happened in Gujarat. And Gujarat being my
Hmm.
native place, I was in Bhuj, which was the epicenter of that earthquake. And, by God's grace, I just managed to survive that earthquake. That was a turning point in my life where I saw
Hmm.
both life and death so closely. And at that point of time, I
Hmm.
just prayed that if I just live and I reach safely back to Mumbai, I will do something about my life. Till that time, I was like a carefree kind of a person, like I told you, right, liking to spend on things.
Yeah.
So that was like a turning point. And with this, I took the second half of my MBA also a little more seriously. And then I joined the corporate
Hmm.
world. And with this thought that this is a second chance to life, and I should be really doing something good with this life. My corporate stint
Hmm.
was very good. Like, I was so passionate into every assignment which would be given to me, and I would just not only crack it, but take it to a different level. So I had a very good corporate stint wherever I worked. And I was known for the
Hmm.
passion. I was known to crack very difficult assignments. Somewhere in 2007 is where,
Hmm.
like, I belong to a business family. My entire family is in business. So first of all, when I first took up a job, that was also a little surprising for everyone. But like I said, that we came
Hmm.
from very humble backgrounds. We didn't have that kind of savings or money or capital to really start very early on our own. So
Hmm.
somewhere in 2007 is where, with not like having too much of thought, I just jumped into entrepreneurship. That
Hmm.
what I was doing for others, if I start doing it myself in very small
Yeah.
way, maybe someday it will like grow and I'll be able to make a meaningful difference. And also the other issue
Hmm.
in finance was that when you're working with corporates, you're working with brands, then you end up pushing
Yeah.
what the organization wants you to do. And I, from my
Hmm.
experiences of childhood with money and post
Hmm.
working and all, I just thought that there is a lot to money and finance than just buying
Hmm.
financial products. And so I
Hmm.
wanted that independence to really be able
Yeah.
to serve the customer holistically,
Hmm.
and not just be driven by what the organization wants you to market or sell
Easily.
in terms of financial products. So
Hmm.
these were the two reasons why I decided to begin this journey way back in 2007 with my co-founder.
That's what made you take the plunge.
Yes,
So is it the playful stereotype that we have mostly heard ki for Gujaratis business runs in the blood? So it came full circle for you.
exactly.
Ultimately, it
Ultimately,
came.
it came full circle. And I'll say that even while I was working, it was never a job for me.
Hmm.
It was an assignment,
Hmm.
was like I'm an entrepreneur for that assignment, and
Yeah.
whatever it is, I have to crack that. Good, bad, I have to
Hmm.
understand everything, really go to it till I turned it around. So even
Hmm.
whatever assignments which I took in the job was for me a small ventures which I had to crack, and I
Hmm.
would really put in my 200% to go about making
Yeah.
it one of the best assignments the organization would have.
Hmm.
So you can say that that entrepreneurship was always there since the beginning in the way I
Hmm.
also handle my assignments.
So you pretty much always had the entrepreneurial spirit in you while working, while being in school, college, and till work.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
how
it's
you
like
landed up here.
the moment I finished my 12th standard, along with my graduation, I
Hmm.
started teaching
Hmm.
kids to earn certain money.
Yeah.
So even like,
Okay.
it started as early as 18 years of age.
As an extra like tuition so that you
Exactly.
can
So
teach
that I
them.
could support
Huh.
my own education. I could support
Hmm.
my family if required. Okay. So like I said,
Yeah.
that the difficult phase in the school really,
Hmm.
got me motivated to stand on my feet
Hmm.
and be financially independent as soon as possible.
You started working at
Yeah.
18. That's great. Not a lot of people might know that, but you have been entrepreneur since then. Let's say anyone is listening and who has not come across Finnovate yet. So, can you tell us a little about Finnovate, what it is exactly, and what problem it is solving for the people? Like just a brief so that people can know what it is
So,
exactly.
Muskan, in India, people directly jump into
Hmm.
investing. Okay, and they chase
Right.
returns like finance or
Hmm.
personal finance or investing, just it's all about returns. Now returns is one
Hmm.
aspect of personal finance, and to
Hmm.
get a
Right.
consistent return, there is a lot many things which
Hmm.
you need to fix. So I feel that you
Hmm.
have to start with a financial plan. Okay, and
Hmm.
also understand the six pillars of financial fitness. So basically you have to have
Okay.
clarity on your financial goals. Okay, you need to understand
Hmm.
your cash flow, income, expenses. Like
Hmm.
right now, a lot of people have good incomes, but they don't know where the money is going.
Hmm.
Okay, and then they're hardly left with
Right.
anything to save. So understanding that
Hmm.
cash flow and having your budgets right.
Hmm.
Then also
Hmm.
investing in line with your financial goals. Even having the
Hmm.
right kind of insurance, the right kind of loans, and also becoming debt free early on, and
Okay.
estate planning. So you need to make your
Hmm.
investments in a way that you're prepared for good days and bad days. So finance
Hmm.
requires a very holistic kind of an approach. and a balance
Hmm.
between the 6 pillars of financial fitness. So before we jump to
Right.
investing, you need to have a plan, and also you need to have a system.
Hmm.
When you have a plan and you have a
Definitely.
system, then you can reach financial
Hmm.
fitness. So this is what we do at Finnovate. We are not here to come with a financial product and tell you, okay, this is a good mutual fund,
Hmm.
this is a good,
Hmm.
bond or a good option. You please go ahead and invest. So we are not
Hmm.
just behind that investable surplus which you have, but we
Hmm.
want to understand who
Okay.
Muskan as a person is. Okay, what are her
Hmm.
financial goals? What has she done in
Hmm.
life till date with her savings or investments?
Hmm.
What has she done in
Okay.
insurance? So there are a lot of questions which we ask you to know
Hmm.
you, your family structure a little better. And then it's a hyper
Hmm.
personalized plan which we create for you with one promise that you will reach your
Hmm.
life goals, whether
Hmm.
in good situation, or if the situation is not good also, still the plan is created in such a way that you and your family will
Hmm.
reach their life goals. So this is what we do at Finnovate, where we make Indian families financially fit.
Okay. That's a great thing to do because many people are just not aware about their financial fitness, let alone to know even the term. What does it
Exactly.
even mean? We all are earning, but we actually don't know where our money goes at the end of the
Correct.
day. हमें से किसी को भी नहीं पता. So speaking of like investing, now we can begin with a little bit towards the investing part. We'll talk about something that we all are dealing with, but probably none of us understands is how to manage our money. So the moment you start earning, nowadays there are terms like SIPs, go and get an SIP, go and get an SIF. So can you just break it down into very simple terms like what exactly SIP and SIF are and what are the difference between the two when somebody is looking to
Okay,
invest?
so I think SIP is just one way of investing in mutual funds. So I think we'll talk about
Hmm.
mutual funds
Okay.
and the specialized
First.
investment,
Hmm.
funds, the new
Hmm.
category which was launched.
Hmm.
So basically, for
Yeah.
anyone who's just started working and they've got their first
Hmm.
income, so the first thing which they need
Hmm.
to do is get into a habit of savings. And where would
Okay.
you invest your savings initially? Okay, so you can
Hmm.
invest in mutual funds, and the route to
Hmm.
invest, because we don't earn our entire money in 1 month or a day, right?
Hmm.
We earn it
Hmm.
over a period of
Definitely.
year. So a systematic investment plan is a way to pool your savings and invest it into the markets every month. Okay, so it's like a
Hmm.
disciplined way of investing in equity mutual funds. And
Okay.
when it comes to SIF, like I said, it's a
Hmm.
specialized investment fund. So
Hmm.
there was mutual funds can start as you can start saving 500, 1,000 a
Hmm.
month in mutual fund. On the other
Okay.
end, there was portfolio management services which starts for HNIs at 50 lakh. Okay, but there was a big
Hmm.
space between this 500, 1,000 SIPs
Hmm.
to a 50 lakh portfolio management. So to bridge that gap, we
Okay.
have a investment vehicle which is
Hmm.
starts at 10 lakh rupees. It is for a
Okay.
little sophisticated investor, and it has
Hmm.
strategies. So in SIP or in mutual fund
Hmm.
investing, you can just be buying the market. Okay, if you feel the
Okay.
market is a little turbulent, you can just sell your
Hmm.
investments and exit. But there was
Okay.
no short position, or you couldn't hedge
Hmm.
your portfolio in normal mutual funds. So with a specialized investment fund, you can have a long short strategy. You can hedge your portfolio. So I would say that this is for a little sophisticated investor who is still not having that surplus for a 50 lakh portfolio management, and he has outgrown mutual funds and he's looking at a little bit more than mutual funds. So SIFs are an option for them.
Okay. Also, in the same breath, when it comes to investing, we also are hearing about ETFs when we're talking about the mutual funds. So, what exactly are ETFs and how they are different from the mutual funds?
When a fund is listed on the stock exchange, we call it as
Okay.
exchange traded fund. Okay, so that is ETFs.
Hmm.
Mostly ETFs is like passive investing. So if there's a index, so
Okay.
Nifty is an index, then there can be Bank Nifty. So a ETF is like a passive way of investing in the markets, and whatever fund is there, it is listed on the exchange. Okay, so it is called as
Hmm.
an exchange traded fund with a passive strategy
Okay.
where it will try and mirror an index. Like, for example, if someone
Hmm.
wants to start saving, a small amount of money,
Hmm.
and he's very new to
Right.
investing. Okay, and he doesn't
Hmm.
have the wherewithal to study so many mutual
Hmm.
funds. He doesn't understand what is active, what is passive, which is a good fund manager and all. So the best thing
Hmm.
for him is to just pick up a ETF and start investing in
Right.
an index ETF. The cost is low,
Hmm.
and it's like because if you're choosing a large cap ETF or something, so it's diversified in India's top 50 100 companies. So it's a good
Hmm.
way for someone to start doing small savings, and not
Okay.
really worry too much about studying the mutual funds too much. So it's like
Hmm.
you don't have to invest too much time into research. You can just pick up an
Right.
index ETF and start your investing journey, and as and when you learn more about investing, you can get into
Hmm.
little higher risk
Mutual
mutual
funds.
funds, or
Hmm.
maybe actively managed funds.
Hmm. So let's say, what if I'm somebody who has not a lot of money and I have just 5 to 10K per month to save? What's the best way I can start investing? Like, what would be the best options for me just with 5 to 10K, not more? Because when a person is
Right,
starting earning, saving is not even on their plate.
right.
Let alone कि वो investing के बारे में सोचें. So अगर किसी के पास इतना ही है, तो how would you suggest कि okay, they can also
Okay, so
invest?
first I would say that saving doesn't depend on income. Whatever the person's
Hmm.
income, let his first salary be just 10,000 a month. Okay. He has
Hmm.
to start saving at least 10 to 20% of his salary. It's a habit. I understand initially you
Okay.
have a lot of expenses. You want to, when it's like the first job, though you want to buy a better phone, you want to buy
Yeah.
maybe a vehicle to commute.
Yeah.
There are like these expenses.
Everything.
So
Hmm.
it may happen that you would not have a lot to save. There are education loans
Hmm.
also which people pay initially when they're
Right.
working, but saving is a habit.
Hmm.
So make it a point. If
Hmm.
you're earning even 10,000 a month, start with at least
Hmm.
saving 10%. Then increase it to
Hmm.
15 and 20. Don't wait कि मेरी income जब 30,000 हो जाएगी,
बढ़ेगी.
50,000 हो जाएगी, that time I will save. It's a myth. And
Hmm.
this is a mistake
Hmm.
which a lot of people starting out do. So I think when you get your first income, first there's an account where the income is credited. Move it into an
Hmm.
account through which you will make savings. You have to mentally make a note that 10,000 में से 2,000 or 1,000 is gone.
निकाल.
I've just earned 8 or 9,000. Now I have to manage everything within that. So that's one thing which people have to do, because saving is a habit,
Hmm.
and it should not be
Right.
left when you have higher income. That never comes, because
Hmm.
expenses will also expand. Lifestyle will also expand to eat up that higher income.
Hmm.
And secondly,
Right.
अगर 5-10 हजार ही है to start,
Hmm.
so like we
Hmm.
discussed first, the best thing for you to do is just start an SIP in the top
SIP. Hmm.
funds. You don't want to
Hmm.
handle too much volatility and all when you're just beginning to invest, so you can just be into diversified mutual funds, probably a little more in the
Hmm.
large caps when you're just beginning the journey, so that it's not too volatile and you're sticking with the best companies in India, which are going to grow
Right.
over a period of time. So
Hmm.
I feel for a new investor, just that SIP is like the best option.
Okay. So that is one thing that people should consider, no matter how low their saving is. So SIP is one thing we all can go
we
for.
we all should go for. Having said that, people
Should
also
actually.
put some money in EPF if they're salaried. EPF
Hmm.
deductions होते हैं. Then,
Hmm.
like right now, there are options in NPS, the National Pension Scheme. Okay, ऐसे बहुत
Hmm.
सारे options हैं. But like I said, right, at that kind of income level, and with just 5, ten
Hmm.
thousand, and with near-term goals, you don't want to lock in your money in long-term EPF or in long-term NPS. So
Right.
something which gives you liquidity, but it also gives you a
Hmm.
good return, okay, is
Good.
like an SIP. uh, and
Okay.
together with it also have an emergency fund. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आप
Hmm.
इन्वेस्टिंग के लिए शुरू कर रहे हो और फिर मार्केट्स कम है और कुछ
Hmm.
इमरजेंसी आई एंड यू हैव टू एग्जिट द पोर्टफोलियो एट लोअर
Hmm.
लेवल्स. So in that case, create a small emergency fund. Okay, whatever are
Okay.
my expenses for the next 6-12 months, if things were going to go
Hmm.
bad, if a COVID was going to happen again, I have this much kitty, which is like an emergency fund which I can dip into.
This is fun.
And uske alawa, then
Hmm.
I start my investing journey. So the first thing is create an emergency fund. Once you've created a
Hmm.
sufficient emergency fund, and that emergency fund you can invest into something which is very short term, like just a fixed deposit, which
Hmm.
you can break at any point of
Yeah.
time, or arbitrage funds or liquid funds, something like that,
Hmm.
overnight funds, something which is very liquid and short term. And then
Hmm.
after that, whatever money, start putting in diversified mutual funds via
Okay.
SIP.
SIPs. Okay. So when we are talking about all these, itna sab kuch hai, there are mutual funds, there are SIPs, people are investing in different aspects. How should one think about asset allocation in like simple terms?
Right.
Ki, हाँ,
So Muskan, the most important thing you have to understand are financial goals. So
hmm,
start asset allocation will follow financial goals. So understand
hmm,
कि okay, I have to buy a car in 2 years or 3 years.
hmm,
That's my financial goal. Then I
hmm,
have to collect a fund for my wedding, which will be 5 years down the line, or to collect a fund for my house, and then also
hmm,
probably for my retirement. So these are three, four goals.
hmm.
So anything which you want money for in less than 3 years are your short-term goals.
Okay.
Anything for which you
Okay.
want money in the next 3 to 7 years. Okay, I'm building for a
Hmm.
house or for my marriage, which is a goal which I
Yeah.
know, I don't know the exact date, but I know the goal will come
Hmm.
between 3 to 7 years. So these are medium term goals.
Hmm.
And anything beyond 7 years is like a long term goal. 7 and 10 years तक पैसे नहीं लगेंगे तो वो long term है. So once you have clarity on your financial goals and you have
Hmm.
compartmentalized your goals into short term, medium term, long term, now we get into
Hmm.
asset allocation for something which is in
Okay.
3 years. You don't want to take a risk
Hmm.
on stock markets going up, down, or something, right? Then you invest
Right.
that money in something which gives you fixed return. Okay, like a
Hmm.
FD, like a kind of a hybrid fund with less exposure to equity, or probably arbitrage funds, or something where in 3 years you don't want to take market risk because markets can be bad for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years also, right? So just goals ekdam short term hai, where you don't want to take risk, go to fixed income. For medium term goals, you go in a combination of debt, like fixed income, equity, and gold. तो थोड़ा बहुत गोल्ड में भी इन्वेस्ट कर लिया फॉर अ होराइजन ऑफ 3 to 7
Hmm.
years. Okay, and for goals
Hmm.
which are more than 7 years or 10 years, okay, you can invest
Hmm.
in definitely equity via again mutual funds.
Hmm.
You can invest a little bit in fixed income, a little bit in gold, and also in real
Hmm.
estate. So at the end, there are four asset classes which a lot of us invest in. So it is equity
Hmm.
markets, it is fixed income like
Hmm.
FD, EPF, PPF, those kind of instruments.
Hmm.
Third is gold, silver, the precious metals, and
Hmm.
fourth is a real estate.
Okay.
Okay, so ये चार asset class है. अब जो 3 साल से कम है, be in fixed income.
Hmm.
जो 3 to 7 years
Hmm.
है, get into a hybrid kind of
Hmm.
where it's a combination of equity,
Hmm.
debt, and maybe gold, and where it's a long term goal,
Maybe.
7 year
Hmm.
plus, then you should be in all the four asset classes. Okay, so this is how you decide your asset allocation, which is in sync with your financial goals and also your risk taking
Hmm.
ability.
Okay. Since we have mentioned gold, I don't think the conversation would do its part before we talk about it. So, gold in India, gold is not just an investment, I feel. It's an emotion. But when you are thinking about building a smart portfolio at in today's time, how should one treat gold? Is it like still an just emotional security, or do you think it actually plays a strategic role? Because what I assumed is key since it's coming in the top four asset classes, so it's definitely playing a role. But people still see it as just emotional security. Most of the people are not investing. Some people are thinking ki acha it's outdated, ab nahi chahiye. So what's your idea about it? Do you think it still holds that amount of
Gold
importance?
holds an important part in your portfolio. It's one asset where
Hmm.
you should be investing because when times are
Hmm.
turbulent and we live in a VUCA world,
Hmm.
we don't know when AI is going to
Right.
hit us and a lot of jobs will go, a lot of companies will get disrupted. Okay, so
Exactly.
equity markets will be reacting to every kind of turbulence, right? And at that point of
Hmm.
time, even the fixed income or the bond market can be a little volatile. And like if
Hmm.
the economies or the GDP is going to get impacted, then even real estate will get
Hmm.
impacted. At that point of time, gold
Hmm.
is one asset class which will be a hedge against uncertainty. Like if you see right now when there
Hmm.
was geopolitical crisis, then central banks
Right.
across the world started buying gold, right? So it's a
Hmm.
hedge
Yes.
against a lot of geopolitical
Hmm.
situations, or when the other three
Hmm.
asset classes, there's turbulence or there's economic turbulence or there's a war kind of a situation, then in that case gold acts as a safe haven and it gives you that safety net and it's a hedge against all this.
Hmm.
So definitely gold still would form a part of your portfolio, and a
Hmm.
strategic part of the portfolio. Okay, so when we are building
Okay.
someone's portfolio, we would advise them that about 5 to 10% of your savings you should be putting
Hmm.
in gold systematically. But having said that, don't rush to buy gold at
Hmm.
1 lakh plus prices.
Hmm.
It's better, like
Right.
mutual fund, we said SIP, which is a systematic
Hmm.
way of participating in equity
Hmm.
markets. So any asset class where it's
Hmm.
volatile, the SIP is a good
Hmm.
way. So you can start doing SIP even in gold, in a gold ETF
Hmm.
or in a gold
Okay.
fund. Okay. And
Hmm.
I'll say in today's generation, people don't want to buy
Hmm.
physical gold because physical gold has an
Right.
issue of storage. Nowadays, people don't
Hmm.
don't wear gold also that much. Okay. And
Huh.
like if you're wearing the price is so high and you're going out, it's riskier also.
Hmm.
So people have moved from
Exactly.
physical gold to uh,
Hmm.
getting gold in a digital kind
Digital
of a
one.
form. So
Huh.
either in form of ETFs or gold funds. Okay. There was
Hmm.
sovereign gold bonds, SGBs, which were very popular and a
Right.
very good investment also.
Hmm.
So these are better options to invest in gold and make it a part of
Hmm.
your portfolio.
Okay. So with all these assets, be it gold, mutual funds, जब किसी के पास थोड़ा बहुत knowledge आ जाता है क्योंकि I'm able to invest. Nowadays, there is this trend about FIRE, the dream of early retirement. Is it just a clickbait on Instagram, or do you think it's actually possible for the people with regular income? Because ऐसे देखेंगे तो लगता है हो जाएगा. But do you think it is actually possible with someone who's just having a regular
Right.
income?
So Muskan, we ran a very big campaign on fire very recently since the
Hmm.
last 1 year. So I would say that
Hmm. Hmm.
yes, fire is possible if
Hmm.
you are saving a very huge amount of your regular income. So
Hmm.
there are people who have early on in their career not taken a lot of EMIs and they don't mind staying
Hmm.
on
Okay.
rent. And from the
Hmm.
day they receive their income, they move a very
Hmm.
large portion of their income in savings. Okay. And then they move into
Hmm.
right investments in the right asset class. And then the compounding starts for them. Okay. So if done well,
Okay.
and if you save a major chunk of your income early on, control your lifestyle expenses, not get into an
Hmm.
EMI burden and all, then in about
Hmm.
15, 20 years, you can build a
Hmm.
substantial corpus where you can attain fire. So fire is like instead of 60, people become financially
Hmm.
independent and retire early. And they can retire
Hmm.
in their early 50s or in the late 40s. Okay.
Okay.
So they can cut down
Hmm.
10, 15 years of working life. So someone who's starting at
Hmm.
say 25, 30, and if he is
Hmm.
saving major chunk of his income, not getting
Hmm.
into EMI burdens and all, then by about 50, 45, 50, he can achieve fire. But having said that, we shouldn't get too much carried away by this whole fire
Hmm.
thing. Okay. Because life
Right.
is not the
Uncertain.
way we have thought about, right? You will get married, you
Hmm.
will get settled, you will have a family, you will have kids, their education.
Exactly.
Okay, so at times when
Hmm.
people just get too drawn into fire, they
Hmm.
miss out on some another
Right.
aspect. Okay, there are
Hmm.
couples who are dinks, double income, no kids,
Hmm.
and they feel
No kids.
that
Yeah.
having kids is expensive. I want to achieve my fire early. Okay, so being a mother,
Right.
I will say okay, there is no bigger joy than raising a child or having a
Exactly.
family. I would not
Hmm.
get to fire, but I would still want
Hmm.
to spend that money to raise my child and to raise a
Child. Yeah.
family and to basically have that balance. Okay, so you
Hmm.
shouldn't get too much carried away and not make
Hmm.
decisions okay, now I want to, in fact, I have kids in my office now who come and say,
Hmm.
okay, why should we get married also, it is too expensive to get married. Okay, we are better off like
Yeah.
that. And उनको एक धुन चढ़ा है कि बस बहुत सारा सेव करना है और
Hmm.
फायर जल्दी अटेन करना है. So
Hmm.
it's not like that. A
सबको.
well balanced life. If you've created all that corpus in fire, whom are you going to share it with? Okay, so
Right.
for your overall well-being, family is important, and so while you're working towards becoming financially independent, don't really put
Hmm.
a kind of a time or don't put a kind of pressure on yourself that okay, this is only what is my priority and miss out on
Hmm.
finer aspects of life.
Right. Since you actually spoke about mom, so मैं थोड़ा सा diversion में चली जाती हूँ कि you are not just building a company, you are leading a team, working in finance, while also being a mom. So what's Nehal's key to balancing both the roles of CEO and a mom? Are there any secrets that the other working moms can steal from you?
So Muskan, I had my fair share of anxiety before I started a
Hmm.
family. I'm a late
Hmm.
mother. Like I had my
Hmm.
child in my late 30s. Okay,
Okay.
so I was anxious initially that how would I manage work and my
Hmm.
house and even a child at that point of time. But with my experience, I
Hmm.
can say that women are inherent multitaskers. Okay, we can
Hmm.
multitask, and you can set your ecosystem. So before I took this decision, I
Hmm.
was mentally very prepared, and I ensured that I had the
Hmm.
right kind of ecosystem which could take care of my child while I was still working.
Hmm.
Okay, and
Hmm.
delegation. I would say that you shouldn't
Hmm.
shy away from delegating a responsibility,
Hmm.
in either at work or at home, and have
At
the
home.
right
Hmm.
set of people to support you. So that support system which a woman builds for herself, that will help her
Hmm.
to continue something which she's passionate about, but
Hmm.
still able to raise a child also and manage a home also. So I would say that a combination of setting up that ecosystem, getting the right support system, delegating. Okay. And you
Hmm.
are not a superwoman and you shouldn't try to be a superwoman.
Yeah.
I can't do everything for my child. I can't be 24/7 available.
Right.
So even when my child was small,
Hmm.
I understood okay, there's certain work which I can outsource to a nanny. Okay. There is no
Yeah.
nothing so glorified that I only have to change his nappies
Hmm.
every time or I only have to
Exactly.
feed him every time, right?
Hmm.
It's okay, like, certain things, if you share the responsibility with, your
Hmm.
support staff around. And
Right.
even your spouse plays a very important role. So I would
Hmm.
say that I'm blessed and I'm very lucky to have a spouse who's so supportive and equally sharing my parenting responsibility. So it makes easier for me to balance two, three roles which I'm playing right now.
Hmm. It's the teamwork that actually
Dream
makes the
work,
dream work.
exactly.
Okay. Now we'll come back to our फिर से conversation पे. Okay, now we'll just discuss a little about the problems or the investing mistakes people usually do. What are some common money mistakes you have seen people making in their 20s or 30s? Like, which is very common and you keep on hearing this even up until now. कि अभी भी हो
Right.
रहा है.
So first thing, like I said, that not starting the habit of saving from their first paycheck.
Hmm.
That's like the biggest mistake. People procrastinate saving, thinking कि when
Yeah.
थोड़ी income बढ़ेगी, we'll save at that time.
फिर
So not
देखेंगे.
getting into that habit of saving from your
Hmm.
first income, that's like one mistake. The
Hmm.
second thing is nowadays a lot of people in their 20s get too carried away by this discount broking apps and all, and then they get into the
Hmm.
habit of
Right.
trading derivatives and all,
Hmm.
thinking ke I have to put in very little money and I will really make a fortune in the quick rich kind of a thing. They getting lured into trading into futures and
Hmm.
options and all. In fact, 99% people who trade in derivatives, they end up losing money. And unfortunately,
Hmm.
a very huge number of people in their 20s are a part of that
That one.
99% people who are losing money. So I would say that
Hmm.
uh, don't get into this habit of trading or getting
Hmm.
into futures and options early on. First, get into the
Right.
habit of savings. Build, like quantify your financial goals. Start with savings into mutual funds. Get like your
Hmm.
health insurance, term insurance, and also build a foundation
Hmm.
for yourself before you get into fancier things. In fact, I have 20s kids asking about cryptocurrency and about every fancy investing, right? So first you build a
Hmm.
financial base or a financial
Hmm.
security. Have a couple of crores in your bank before you get into
Yeah.
fancier and riskier things. So this is a mistake which people
Hmm.
in their 20s should avoid. Also, people at times are either very aggressive. So certain people in 20s are too
Hmm.
aggressive. But there's a certain set of people
Right.
who are very conservative. They will only invest in
Hmm.
fixed deposit gold, right? So don't be at both extremes. Try to
Hmm.
be a little balanced. And don't try
Hmm.
to lean on to either of the extremes.
Okay. Somewhere in the
Yeah,
middle, we
a
have to find
balance
our
is
place.
what is very important, where you are not so
Hmm.
conservative that you put your money in fixed deposits. 20s is not the age to
Hmm.
keeping on putting money in, in your fixed deposits.
Random
You have a
stuff.
very long career in front of you. You can take a little risk, so
Hmm.
you invest in equity markets, mutual funds, and all. But you don't go at the other extreme where you're getting into crypto and derivatives and trading and all
Crypto.
that for quick gain.
Okay. So, as a person's income grows, so how can someone actually plan for the future without feeling like they are missing on living today? Because वो भी concept होता है कि if I'll just save up everything, if I'll invest up everything, तो इतने में उम्र निकल जाएगी. तो वो बहुत contrasting
Exactly,
opinion रहता है लोगों
Muskan, if
का.
someone has not done a financial plan, okay, they always in this
Hmm.
anxiety and they're always
Hmm.
confused that are they spending, aren't they
Yeah.
saving enough? Okay, so with financial
Hmm.
plan, you get clarity. And let me tell you,
Hmm.
once you have clarity on your financial goals, you quantified them. You don't really require a big amount of
Okay.
saving if you're starting early. Okay, and budgeting is
Hmm.
an important question, concept where I have budgeted.
Hmm.
Okay, if I'm earning 100 rupees, I've
Yeah.
set 20 or 30 rupees aside for my financial
Hmm.
goals. Now I have 70. Out of that, I'm spending
Hmm.
40, 50 on my needs, rent, utilities and
Right.
other things. Still, I have that 20, 30% which I can spend on my wants. I can take a vacation. I've budgeted for
Hmm.
that vacation.
Yeah.
So, Muskan, when people don't budget, that is where they don't
Hmm.
really know कि मैं सही खर्चा कर रहा हूँ नहीं कर रहा हूँ. Should I postpone
कि
this? Should I
नहीं.
not postpone this? So I would say that budgeting and
Hmm.
financial planning or goal planning, these two things
Planning.
will really give you so much insights into your money
Hmm.
and control of your
Hmm.
financial life, that financial planning is about living in the present while we are also
Right.
preparing for our future. But it doesn't mean that we just,
Hmm.
it's just the future and we are not living in the
Hmm.
present. Otherwise, there's no fun, right?
Huh.
So that
There's no
balance is
point.
again very important. And when you've budgeted well, then you have enough to spend in the present also and live
Hmm.
the lifestyle in the moment, because nobody knows what the
Hmm.
future is, right? Any one of us
Yeah.
could have been on that ill-fated Ahmedabad London
Hmm.
flight,
Right.
where
Yeah.
whatever we thought for future, things just
Hmm.
changed in a moment. So
Yeah.
living in that moment, enjoying your life day to day, every moment is also important.
Hmm.
Once you budgeted, you can do
Right.
it very well. And while putting your financial plan in place, you're putting aside something for a brighter future also.
Hmm. Hmm. Because I think mostly people are anxious because they are just working on extremes. कि अगर बहुत खर्चा कर दिया तो भी गिल्ट में है, नहीं किया then you feel like कि अरे जिए ही नहीं, तो आप बीच में कहीं
Exactly.
अटके रह
So
जाते हो.
budgeting will solve that
Helps.
issue where you have
Hmm.
milestones. Okay, this year I want to
Right.
buy this phone. Maybe I want to take
Hmm.
this holiday. In 3 years, I want to
Hmm.
go to a foreign location. So this is the budget. I start saving for
Hmm.
it, and this still doesn't affect my long-term plan. Then very well go and
Hmm.
indulge in today.
Yeah.
And people will be surprised that once they've done this budgeting exercise and this financial planning,
Hmm.
they'll have more
Hmm.
surplus actually to enjoy their present better. That's what
Hmm.
I've seen with thousands of family. It's just the lack of this
Hmm.
clarity gives them the anxiety.
Yeah.
They that
Hmm.
पूरी जिंदगी निकल गई, कुछ मौज मजा नहीं किया, या तो फिर
वही.
इतना
Hmm.
ज्यादा लाइफस्टाइल पे खर्चा कर दिया
क्यों
कि
ही किया
सेविंग्स नहीं
काम.
की,
हाँ.
so you won't be in that kind of
Hmm.
a situation.
राइट. इट्स लाइक कि अभी भी जी लो और इतना भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि बाद में
Exactly,
रिग्रेट
it's a
ना हो
balance
एटलीस्ट.
between the both.
हम्म. सो ऑन द फ्लिप साइड, व्हाट being financially fit actually looks like in a daily life? Are there some small habits that can help people to stay on track besides, let's say, saving hair, or just little habits that can contribute to being financially fit?
Right. So, being financially fit, when you're sleeping, right, you're just
Hmm.
completely anxiety free. You're not really
Hmm.
worried about what will happen to the financial markets tomorrow, right?
Hmm.
You're
Okay. Hmm.
not on your phone constantly from 9 o'clock to 3:30
Checking.
chasing the financial
Hmm.
markets, or on the 30th you're not worried that okay, I've
Hmm.
run out of my money for
Hmm.
the month, and
Funds.
now I have
सब
to
खत्म.
wait for my
Hmm.
salary to come on first, then only I can really
Hmm.
stand on my feet again. Okay. So financial fitness
Hmm.
means that you are going about your life in a very
Hmm.
smooth manner, and in complete control. Okay. And when you sleep,
Hmm.
you are very assured that God forbid anything
Hmm.
happens. If there's a rainy day, I have planned for my
Hmm.
family. Okay. And I have also
Hmm.
created or given them wings to fly, when the situation is very good. So that is what financially fit means. Okay. You have planned for the
Looks
rainy
like.
day very well. But when
Hmm.
there are times to gear up, you have created your
Hmm.
investments or your whole asset allocation in that way that you can even
Hmm.
ride that upside when it is there. So that's what being
Hmm.
financially fit means. And it starts the daily habits is just start tracking your expenses.
Hmm.
Okay, at times people don't
Okay.
realize that where people are spending, and today because of
Right.
this whole online, your cards being linked at places,
Hmm.
so much of consumerism, discounts, and you're lured into
Ah.
spending. So one habit which
Right.
you have to form is start tracking your day-to-day expenses. Okay, and also
Hmm.
understand that what savings are you making every month and every year.
Hmm.
Whatever you were saying this year, just say कि I have to step
Hmm.
up my saving by 5-10%. Then the year after that just step
Ah.
up. बहुत ज्यादा बड़े strides नहीं लेना है.
Hmm.
जो भी इस साल कर रहे हो
Small
पाँच
steps,
दस
baby
परसेंट से नेक्स्ट
steps.
ईयर बढ़ाओ,
Hmm.
उसके बाद नेक्स्ट ईयर इस साल 10% बचा रहे
Hmm.
हो तो नेक्स्ट ईयर उसको 10% से बढ़ा दो, मे बी 11
Hmm.
12% लेके जाओ, 15% लेके जाओ, so
Hmm.
like that, and start tracking your expenses on a day to day basis. You'll be surprised to see that this I did not want it. Okay, this was
Hmm.
not a need, but
Right.
I ended up spending in this.
Hmm.
So like right now, I go out shopping, right? At point I see so
Hmm.
many things, so there's this urge or
Hmm.
temptation, because I told you, right, as a child I had this
Definitely. Right.
thing that I was a
Hmm.
spender. But now I just
Hmm.
take a conscious decision that okay, fine, I like this
Hmm.
thing, I will come back to this after 7 days. Okay, or I'll buy it after 7 days.
Okay.
I'll just push my
Hmm.
urge to go and
Yeah.
I say, okay, just do kind of just a random buying,
Just wait.
because एक
Hmm.
impulsive buying क्योंकि देख लिया कुछ चीज. So just postpone it for seven
Hmm.
days and see that whether you need this or
Hmm.
not. After 7 days,
Hmm.
you wouldn't, it will
It
go
goes
away
away.
actually. तो ये जो
Hmm.
अर्ज होता है लोगों को एक
Hmm.
इम्प्रॉम्प्टू कुछ भी एक्सपेंसेस करने का, विदाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग के विल दिस थिंग मेक देयर लाइफ बेटर ऑफ और नॉट, इज दिस
Better.
नीडेड इन
Huh.
देयर लाइफ और नॉट. द बेस्ट थिंग
Hmm.
इज हम प्रोकेस्टिनेट अच्छी चीजों में करते हैं, तो व्हाई नॉट प्रोकेस्टिनेट इन इम्पल्सिव शॉपिंग. Okay, so I
Right.
have started
Hmm.
doing that a lot, where I just postpone that
Hmm.
decision to shop that thing for a week and then see that do I still need it or
Hmm.
not. And most of the time, 8 or 10 items are out,
Hmm.
and I'm left with 1 or 2 items,
Right.
which is absolutely
It
needed.
actually it actually felt like you were talking about me because I have been into impulse buying for some
Right.
time. And even I did that. I practiced this once. I had to make an impulse buy. I just waited, ki, okay, I'll just buy it over the weekend, not today, just not today. And I swear it went away. And now I realize I actually did not need it. And I would have spent a huge amount on something that just was not going to add value to me.
And is it actually needed, or is
Hmm.
just a want, or is just an impulse? I would say it's just an
Hmm.
impulse. We like something because it looks very attractive, and that discount
Yeah.
which comes, right? So a lot of
Hmm.
time people just end up buying or hoarding things because it is on discount.
I'm definitely taking that tip कि whenever you are going shopping, have something, have a plan in your head so that you do not buy anything unnecessarily. Because I think हम भी जब भी shopping पर जाते हैं, it's
Yes.
mostly like क्यों ले आए? क्योंकि दिल आ गया, अच्छा लग गया तो मैंने ले लिया. और पता है कि 3 महीने हो गए वो अभी तक यूज भी नहीं हो पा रहा है. उसके लिए कोई फिट ओकेजन नहीं आ रहा है. तो आई थिंक impulse buying is something we all deal with. तो बेस्ट टेक आई टुक फ्रॉम इट इज की प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट, रुक जाओ थोड़ी देर, 3 डेज बाद ले लेना, वो नहीं जाएगा. और उसके बाद लिया तो यू एक्चुअली नीडेड इट, और नहीं तो जाने दो. सो स्पीकिंग ऑफ फाइनेंशियल प्रिपेयर्डनेस, there was one 2024 survey by Finnovate actually that found that young adults between 18 to 30 are the least financially fit. Why do you think this generation is the one that struggles the most with the money
Oh,
aspect? How can someone just starting know what they should look for? Why they are struggling
no,
so
I'd say
much?
that they're just starting out, right? They don't have that adequate
Hmm.
knowledge about
Right.
their whole financial life.
Hmm.
So in the
Hmm.
beginning, in most of the things we do, we make mistakes, right? And so with the
Hmm.
financial life or investing, also we make mistakes. But like we discussed
Hmm.
before, that people in the 20s are so influenced by the social media. Okay, they're
Right.
seeing influencer visiting Cannes wearing a certain outfit, having this kind of a lifestyle,
Hmm.
right? So FOMO ho jata hai. And everybody
Huh.
wants to really catch up with that kind of travel, that kind of lifestyle and all. Okay, and so people want to get quick
Hmm.
rich things, and it's leading to a lot of impatience to the young
Hmm.
people. uh, वो जो
Okay.
perseverance, long term सोचना,
Hmm.
वो सब concepts है नहीं. Okay,
नहीं है.
I want everything and I want it now and I want it big. Okay, because this is what the
Hmm.
social media
Right.
is throwing at me. Okay, so
Hmm.
the people in 20s are financially unfit because if
Hmm.
I were to take the investing pyramid, you build a very strong financial
Hmm.
foundation. You get a secure or
Hmm.
a regular income. You build a financial base, have a
Hmm.
couple of crores in your bank. Then you get into a little riskier stuff, then another riskier stuff. यहाँ 20s
Hmm.
में सीधा शुरू ही होता है with the most riskier stuff, right?
अच्छा.
And
Hmm.
people don't want to really be into secured kind of jobs or
Hmm.
secured kind of income streams.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get into things which will give them kind of a jackpot and they can become rich very fast. Okay, so that's the
Hmm.
reason they are unfit. Okay, so if they began
Hmm.
in a little, I'd say, balanced way or a little systematic way, they
Hmm.
build some expertise through which they can get a good secured income. They build like
Hmm.
a good financial security, and then they get
Right.
into things which are riskier. That'll be better.
Hmm. So, are there any some benchmarks that can help them set up the early goals, early financial goals in their life? Like
Like
this
I
much
said,
they should
right?
do. Hmm.
That
Hmm.
say for a youngster, he has to understand: do I have a dependence? Okay, and if I have
Hmm.
dependence, then what is that monthly income which is required to basically run my family or to keep me like
Hmm.
in a, so that amount could be anything. For someone, it could be 50,000, 1 lakh, whatever. So they
Hmm.
have to build a corpus. I would say a corpus where they
Hmm.
can start getting
Yeah.
that regular income if things go very bad.
Hmm.
Like say 1 करोड़ का अगर
Yeah.
कॉर्पस हो गया तो उसमें से साल के
Okay. Hmm.
आप 6 लाख 8 लाख विड्रॉ कर
Hmm.
सकते हो. तो दैट मीन्स जितना आपको
Hmm.
अपनी अभी एक बेसिक लाइफ को जीने के लिए यू वांट मनी,
Hmm.
that much you've protected. So an youngster should just
Hmm.
look at that, how do I build my first 1 crore very fast.
Hmm.
That way I've built some kind of financial security. Okay, and I work
Okay.
on my skills which gives me a steady income. If I'm getting into something
Hmm.
riskier also, I still have my plan B in place, right?
Hmm.
So अगर कुछ कर रहे हो तो hustle करो आप साइड में, फिर भी
Hmm.
अपनी जो एक स्टेडी इनकम है उसको छोड़कर एक अनकैलकुलेटेड रिस्क मत लो. See, it's good.
Hmm.
Entrepreneurship is very good,
Right.
and I was an entrepreneur
Hmm.
in my late
Hmm.
20s, right? I started very early.
Yeah.
In the hindsight, I feel started very
Hmm.
early. Okay, so people have
Yeah.
aspirations, they can start early, but take a
Hmm.
calculated risk. Okay, have enough
Hmm.
funds for yourself also and for your venture also before you take that
Hmm.
plunge, because without enough financial security for yourself and without
Hmm.
enough seed capital for your business, things can get a little
Hmm.
turbulent. So खुद की protection, like खुद की financial security जरूरी है, so that you're free
Hmm.
mind working on your venture, and
हाँ.
that venture should also have at least 1000 days चलने जितना capital. Then in that case
इतना कैपिटल.
you have like taken a calculated risk.
Hmm. Okay. Got it. Also, speaking when we have covered one category, when we talk about women, and in terms of their financial fitness, what do you think there are still emotional or societal blocks that hold them back being financially independent? Because let's say if she's unmarried, she might depend upon her father, कि, okay, they'll manage. When she's married, she depends upon the husband that he'll manage her finances, and it's still there. What do you think it's still the emotional barriers or societal barriers that just stop them? What holds
Oh,
them
it's
back?
one of my favorite topics. I do a lot of
Hmm.
presentations across the country on this topic, women and finance. And let me tell you,
Hmm.
I meet professionally qualified women who can earn in
Hmm.
crores. But when it comes to
Yeah.
managing their money, it's either the father or the husband or a male member which takes the lead. So women have a lot of myths with money. They
Hmm.
feel that they're not good with numbers or not good with finance. Is better
Yeah.
left to the
Hmm.
a male member. It's too boring. I have
Hmm.
other priorities in life. I have to raise a house. I have to raise a family. I'm more of a
Right.
nurturer. तो फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री का काम
Hmm.
वो मेल कर रहा है. So I think
वो
every
करेंगे.
woman has to understand that our country's finance minister is also a woman now. Okay, and
Women.
so we have to
Exactly.
break this myths. Women are
Hmm.
excellent savers. Okay, we
Hmm.
from saving have to move to investing wisely, and that will happen
Yeah.
when you make yourself literate about the
Hmm.
whole personal finance space. So women should read good
Hmm.
books on personal finance. I would recommend one book,
Hmm.
Let's Talk Money by Monica Halan, a
Hmm.
woman who's written a very good book on money. Okay, so start with reading
Hmm.
a little bit about personal finance. Start small with investing your money. Learn to operate your accounts, set up your investment account,
Hmm.
talk to people in the investment space,
People.
have a
Yeah.
good advisor. Start with your investing
Hmm.
journey. Seek professional advice.
Hmm.
At times, why in
Hmm.
India people have not got out of that mold of not being dependent on their husband or their
Hmm.
father and all is because
Right.
still that concept of seeking professional advice for money or finance is still not
Hmm.
there. अभी भी वो family के
Yeah.
अंदर बात करके एक informally जो decision
किसी
making
से
होती है
पूछ
वैसे ही
लेंगे.
पैसे
Hmm.
invest होते हैं. Instead of that, if you
Hmm.
start consulting, see, you're a professional,
Hmm.
okay? If there is
Right.
physical health, if there's an issue, you go to a doctor.
Hmm.
Okay, so when it comes to finance, you
Exactly.
should go to a financial doctor. Okay, so
Hmm.
when you start seeking professional advice from, say, SEBI
Hmm.
registered investment advisors or who
Hmm.
have this holistic
Hmm.
approach, then in that case, you will have like a coach or a guide which will teach you about money and
Hmm.
also help you invest. And you start
Hmm.
small, and that is how you would start building confidence. And I'd say once you have
Hmm.
read about personal finance, you invested your money, I'd say the more than reading also, when you start investing, you
Hmm.
just jump into investing
Right.
and start small, and then you
Hmm.
learn practically while you're investing. That itself will give you a
Hmm.
lot of confidence and clarity. And every
Yeah.
woman should understand that every company has a second in line, right?
Hmm.
So our house also needs second in line. We can't just leave money
Yeah.
decisions or finance decisions on the male members in our house. We have to be equally involved,
Hmm.
equally a part of the decision making. I'll say at
Right.
times,
Hmm.
women may not be the decision makers, okay, but they have to be the
Right.
part of the
Hmm.
decision making. If the family level कुछ
Right.
investment हो रहा है, I
Hmm.
should understand what that
Hmm.
investment is, why is it being made,
Hmm.
and I should be a part of the decision making, though the final call will be taken by someone. But I have to be aware, right?
Yeah.
I have to be aware. So
Exactly.
women have to start, you know, playing a lot more role in managing
Hmm.
their money. And financial
Hmm.
independence for women, जितना बोले उतना कम है. So when you
Most
start
important.
managing your money, you will have that sense of financial independence also. Financial independence is
Right.
not just earning money, but financial independence is
Hmm.
also being in control of that money and managing that money and growing that money.
राइट क्योंकि अर्निंग तक तो सब आ गए हैं अब धीरे
Exactly.
धीरे बट
So
उसके आगे की जर्नी
we
स्टिल
have to
देयर.
take that strides of protecting our money, growing our money, and also being in control of our
राइट.
money and not just getting someone else to start controlling it.
टेक केयर ऑफ इट. क्योंकि दैट हैपेंस अभी भी कि आई थिंक वो उनका वुमेन में खुद से ही ऐसा हो जाता है कि दे डू नॉट ट्रस्ट देमसेल्व्स
Exactly.
इनफ कि आई
Right.
कैन हैंडल इट और
And so
नॉट.
that's the
तो
reason
इट्स वेरी
you
इंपॉर्टेंट.
seek professional advice and you also read because you're so educated. Women are so educated, right?
या.
You read, and I'll tell you,
एग्जैक्टली.
the biggest project a woman has in the life is to give birth to a child and to raise a child. If we can do that, we can do
राइट.
anything. Okay, so
एनीथिंग. या.
why should we have this fear or these insecurities with managing money? Okay, the most difficult job
राइट.
in this world we are already doing, right? So I would say if I compare this to motherhood or anything else, this is more simpler than actually giving birth to a
टास्क. या.
life and raising that life to be a good human being.
Exactly. Yeah, that is the biggest role anyone can play, or I don't think anything can come at par with it. So if she can be a mom, she can definitely be an
A good
investor and
investor.
definitely can take care of her
Yes.
financial
Yes.
decisions. Thank you. Thank you so much for all these great insights. So before we get into our, I think the last fun quick bites round, we'll have that first. But before that, if you have to tell a little about, is there anything about the future of Finnovate you guys are planning? What's your future vision? What do you see to build with
So,
it
Muskan,
eventually?
we wish we can make every Indian family financially fit. Okay.
Hmm.
And we, in this process, can give back to
Hmm.
the economy, create more jobs,
Hmm.
and see more and more people if they're financially fit. Okay. It'll boost the
Hmm.
savings, investments for the country, also the spending, because people know that they have to live in today also. So this is where we see Finnovate, where there is a good campaign around mutual fund sahi hai. Okay. तो वैसे
Yeah.
a financial plan for every Indian is what is our dream,
Hmm.
going forward.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you for that. So we'll wrap our conversation with a little bit of quick
Sure.
takes. Just try to say whatever comes in
Yes.
the first thing in your mind
Yes.
that comes. What's one thing that you have stopped spending on and you think people are still going on with it?
So I'd say that entertainment. I have stopped spending a lot on entertainment. There'd be very
Hmm.
selected movies I would be seeing. Okay, and
Watching.
I'd rather invest that time with my child than so
Hmm.
partying, entertainment. I've
Yeah.
curtailed my spends on that.
Okay. One most non-financial habit that has helped you actually in your growing your wealth or being financially
Okay,
fit.
I'd say that I invest in my health. Okay, that's where I don't
Hmm.
really look at money. So whether it's hiring a personal
Okay.
trainer to keep myself
Hmm.
active and fit, okay, to
Hmm.
really investing in getting the right food on the table, organic food and all.
Hmm.
Okay, so I would
Hmm.
say though money is attached to this, but investing a lot in the health is like one
Health.
financial, I'll say a non-financial habit which has really helped me. Uh, like I've been
Hmm.
working since 18 and it's been like a very long
Hmm.
journey.
Right.
And I still have the
Hmm.
energy which I had in my early 20s, even in
Hmm.
my mid 40s.
Hmm. Okay. Have you made any major money mistake that shaped you how you think about it now? Anything major, but even when you were young or something, anything that you still feels ki that was
So
a
I
major
think the
mistake on my
one
part?
financial advice which I've been giving everyone is that that first paycheck, start saving from that time. So in
Hmm.
my early, 8, 10 years,
Working
it was
days.
not that
Huh?
I was
Hmm.
not earning well, but at that
Hmm.
point of time, I didn't have that kind of awareness about personal finance which I have right now. Okay, so
Hmm.
earning and then saving and then spending. It was earning,
Hmm.
then spending, and then whatever left, it was saved. It was not that I was
Same.
not saving, but still that
Hmm.
equation, if it would have been different, it would be like
Hmm.
good. And also,
Hmm.
I'd say that I was a very high risk taker in my early
Hmm.
20s. Okay, so
Okay.
that
Hmm.
calculated risk, or I now say कि risk
Hmm.
adjusted, kind of mindset.
Right.
So I was a very high risk taker, but over a period of time, I've understood that it's important to be balanced and rational and have a
Hmm.
360-degree view about something and not just really take
Hmm.
very risky decisions.
Okay. If there is any one thing that you could teach every 20-year-old about money,
We spoke about this many times,
save.
but saving is a habit. Just start saving and
Hmm.
start building good financial security before you get into
Hmm.
doing things which are fancier and riskier.
Okay. If you get a totally free day, one day, no meetings, no mom duties, how would you spend it? What would be your version of a perfect no pressure day?
Okay, I would just begin my day with a long walk in nature. So either
Hmm.
in,
Okay.
in greenery anywhere. Follow it up with yoga. Follow it up with
Okay.
like warm breakfast, and then
Hmm.
read a book. Go in for a massage, an afternoon nap, and again
Hmm.
evening. Spend time with my family listening to some good music. So that would be one
Hmm.
good day of unwinding.
Okay. So that's how a Nehal's perfect day
Yes,
looks
yes,
like.
yes.
Behind Finnovate, behind all her duties, behind all the pressures.
Yes.
Okay. That has been great. Okay. If you have to give one piece of advice to your fellow entrepreneurs, men, women, everyone out there who are into their entrepreneurial journey, what would you say?
I'd say that first of all, congratulations, you're building the nation. But having said that,
Hmm.
like I said from my personal experience, that I used to take a lot of risk.
Hmm.
So it's good that we
Yeah.
take risk, but it should be calculative risk. And don't end up mixing your business finance with your personal finance.
Hmm.
Demarcate your business
Okay.
finance and your personal finance. So if you have a company,
Hmm.
have a small take home
Hmm.
from that for yourself. Okay. So,
Hmm.
so that you are also building financial security apart from your company.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is
Hmm.
one advice which I would want to give to the fellow entrepreneurs, and the balance. So don't like just burn yourself out. Have that balance and invest in your health also, apart from just
Yeah.
building your company and creating
The
wealth.
wealth.
And you know, so these are a few pieces of
Hmm.
advice to the fellow colleagues.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. From it has been a great, insightful conversation. I think I got to know so many things, how to be financially fit, what are the things we can look for in investing, and to be able to understand that from somebody who could. It is really great of you that you were able to make me understand and to the audience understand these aspects that people do not even know whom to ask. दे इवन फील कि नहीं पूछ सकते हैं, किससे पूछेंगे, इसका तो मतलब ही नहीं पता, क्या कर सकते हैं। सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर I really enjoy the conversation. I hope you had a good time too. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank you
Nehal.
so much for inviting me, and all the best with your podcast. And you know uh, hi to the entire audience, and I'm sure you would all enjoy the conversation. I really enjoyed my last 1 hour with you. So thanks a lot for inviting me.
Thank you.